Thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you how our Active Work Order handles material requirement planning. So in the heart of the system, we have this program called Calculate Quantity to Produce Purchase. What it does, it gives you the ability to have a group of items, and for the items entered, it will go ahead and will calculate demand based on all the activities that are in the system, including the work orders that we've created in our active work order system. So it does show you all the other quantities that are available. So you could see those. If you see a calculated number and you want to see how the number got calculated from, you can click on the show calculated demand and will show you the numbers, and it will show you the additions, deductions, and the available quantity, what you have available of an item. So as you enter the work order and so forth, it would impact the quantities. But the nice thing about it is right from here, you could generate a work order. So if you want to generate a work order for the quantity 7 or 5, you can. Or if it's an item you want to buy, you could just select it and select the vendor and basically have the system calculate a purchase order for it. So if you select it, say we're going to buy it from this vendor, and system will allow you to actually basically select the item, click on generate PO. It will go ahead and generate a PO. If the replenishment method is for the item is set up as a transfer, it would also do the same thing. It will also generate a transfer sales order for you. So it handles all the all the different requirements that you may have for managing your transactions, seeing what's available now. A PO got generated. If you need to generate a work order, you could just say, I want to just generate your work order for a quantity of 2. Click on generate work order, and it will go ahead and generate a work order for a quantity of 2 for the item that you've just selected. So we will see that. If I go to the work order entry, I would see a work order for a quantity of 2 generated for that item. For the quantity, we'll see the manufacturing transactions that we generate in our system for based on the routing that that item has. So we'll see the quantity 2, what are the components, and on and on. So one of the nice things about it in the calculate quantity produce, you could, if the item has a kit specification, you could see it. It will show you the kit specification for it, what are the components, how you've grouped them. As you can see in our system, we let you define a routing, which are the steps that go into production of that kit. If you click on the routing, it will bring up the steps that you need to go through, filling, painting, and so forth. Duration of each step, QC functions that need to be performed. Now, one of the things we also do, we let you define grouping, and using this grouping, you could tell the system where the components need to be loaded, all in the first step, all in the last step, or throughout the manufacturing process. Some of the other things that we do is we let you in the preferences tell the system what if you have any work orders created, you want those work order quantities to be included in the calculation of your availability or not. So that's something that if you just, in case you do not want to do that, you have the ability to do set that up. So it only includes the work orders that are created, or the work orders that are cleared and are on hold, do not show up, versus both work orders that are created and work orders that are on hold, released from hold, or unshown. So those are some settings. Now it's very easy to work with it, different grouping of items. You can create your records, Christmas decorations, or your furniture items. It would basically go ahead and select those items and load into here just those items that you're looking for. You could create additional filters. You can import upload a file that it gets loaded as a what if demand for you. So the what if, then you could do your run. You can calculate demand based on just the what if quantity. If you have doing some forecast, you can say, what if I have 40 of it? You can add the what if to your calculated demand, or you can calculate demand taking into account also the replenishment method of the item. You could build your groupings based on this. So uh, showing manufacturing trees. We also show you kit specifications. So if you have multiple levels of this item, you could see that item, you could see that in here, or you can come in here and see that. Notice that that item changes. It shows you for that subassembly, what do you need, or for this, what do you need? We show you all of that information. And if you have optional items, you can specify those, all that information. So very, very flexible. As I've mentioned, you have the ability to see your different levels of bill of materials, non-stocks that have been assigned, create options if you wanted to options. If for that item deck 2500, if I have options, I could see what the options for it are. Maybe a battery operated, or what it's a 110 or 220 option. And for each one of these options, you specify the additional routing step or additional components that need to be loaded. So pretty flexible, easy to use. Oh, the other thing about our work order processing is that you could, from the sales order entry, you could actually create work orders from here as well. So work orders could be created from the work order entry program, from sales order entry program. If I enter this, I have the ability to check this, generate work order, enter a quantity of 2, save it, and basically generate a work order for it from here. It would show me the options. I could see the options, whether it's power is to 110 or 220, if I've defined that, or if it's battery operated or not. Based on that, it would load additional items, or light being LED or otherwise. Notice that options could be set up as required. So system would, force you to enter that selected option. As part of routing, you also have an option to load the labor and material entered into the sales order. So basically now this work order got created based on that quantity that we've entered. So pretty flexible. Every time you click on prepare data, it would go ahead and look at the data again. So if there's additional transactions that got processed, it would impact the availability of the items. So you could see those and basically see the changes in the quantity calculated based on the settings in the system. Thank you. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I hope this is sufficient in showing you how the system operates. Thank you, and looking forward to your feedback on the recording, and if there's any additional information that's needed.